Let him who hath understanding reckon the number of the beast, for it is a human number. Its number is 666.
It's a quandary that's perplexing me.
Your town has been host to a government conspiracy on the highest of levels. Let me tell you how they're going to cover it up.
But I'm going to strip away this mystery and expose its private parts.
That's got to be a ritual, man. Or at least some sort of a heart-sucking, possessed satanic crack or bat. What?
Was he mauled to death by a radioactive bear from hell?
We have to strike now, sir. Annihilate, kill, kill. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
A wise man once said the human spirit can overcome any obstacle. That man had obviously never run a triathlon.
Dear higher power guy or gal.
His name is Jesus.
For over 30 years, Santos Bonacci has been researching the ancient works, compiling and translating them into more accessible terms in his study of astrotheology. This knowledge is the basis and origin for all of our myths, legends, fairy tales, nursery rhymes, and folklore. It is also the pure science developed by the very enlightened, wise, and ancient priesthood that gives us the holy books of all religions. His language was heavily veiled in allegory and symbolism, and much of it was deliberately done to keep the higher truths from the masses.
You and I, having a background in the Latin languages, yours is Spanish and mine Italian, we know that Santa means holy. So Santa Claus, claustrum, where this beautiful fluid comes from and flows down the spinal cord, and then from there it must return, because when it ascends the spinal cord and returns back up the medulla oblongata and gets crucified at the crossing of the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the teller. When the oil ascends after due diligence and good practices of the individual, it crosses that the vagus nerve. That's the crucifixion. And what happens is the oil now in the pineal gland produces a new fluid, which is called the blood of the Christ, which saves, because what actually happens biochemically is that it produces a new higher vibrating fluid, the pineal gland that is, and we reactivate all the dormant brain cells, the billions of dormant brain cells in the cerebrum, both left and right hemisphere. And this is what the higher consciousness, the Christ consciousness, is all about. all the gurus, all the avatars and the rishis and the Christs and the Buddhas, great ascended masters, because ascension happens in the body. You've been given a vessel to ascend in. Most church types, they're waiting to ascend when Christ returns and raptures them. That, I'm afraid, is never going to happen. That's vicarious salvation, and that stuff does not happen, not even in your fantasies. But that's what deluded types are waiting for. The ascension is something done by the Christ within. That beautiful fluid that I spoke about, that's the Christ. That's the Christ within, and we all have the responsibility to ascend that fluid. In theology, that's actually called tithing, returning 10% of the fluid.
10% as the 10% that people give their churches, for example?
Yeah, you return that, yeah, exactly, to the Lord, because the Lord is up in heaven. You see, remember that stairway to heaven. That, I'm afraid, is never going to happen. And that stuff does not happen, not even in your fantasies. But that's what deluded types are waiting for. Remember that stairway to heaven.
No stairway. Denied.
Excuse me, Wayne. Can I put the fender back now, please?
Not today, my good man. I'm feeling saucy. I think I'm gonna buy it. Do you accept cash?